Hello, everyone. Beth and Kelly, Denise, Jen. Let's see here. Cheryl, Missy, Jasmine, Julia. Hello, hello. Hey, Amy Young, Gretchen. Hello, Laura. Hello, everyone. So tonight I am creating a card. I'm doing a fun technique that is new to me. So maybe it'll be fun for you guys to try. It's really fun with our dies that have all the detail in them, which, a lot of our dies do. I've always used like my Copics or my colored pencils or something like that to add in, when it presses in the paper, then I trace it or whatever. And so I saw one of our design team members' cards from this last release, and she had done this technique and used ink, run it through her die machine. And so it inks it and cuts it at the same time. Like that's my kind of card. And this card I'm going to show you. Hello, Dawn. I am going to be stamping one of your little images this evening, or big images, I should say. But this card from Leanne West, and I saw this and I was like, oh my gosh. So do you all see in her little Plumeria flowers and the leaves as well, where the ink is pressed down into those embossing areas? That's what fascinated me. And I was like, okay. I messaged Leanne on Instagram. I was like, did you do this the way that I think that you did it? And she said, yep, I sure did. And I was like, I have to recreate this card. And the card, when you look at it, when Lisa and I saw it, we were like, oh my gosh, this is an involved card. All this, it's really easy, you guys, because the little steps, the dies do everything for you. We're going to ink them up. We're going to play, and it's going to be something fun. So I hope this is something that inspires you guys to try it out and have a good time. Okay, let's see here. Love Dawn's card on the YouTube. Yay, Dawn. Yes, Dawn is here. So good. So pretty. And so it's one of those nights where I'm going to do like the Can Kelley Create It. And we're going to test it out. We're going to try it out. And so I have some paper cut here. I have my dies here, and I'm going to show you my very well-loved messy magnet. And we're going to get busy. Now, I have found, and because I was like, okay, I'm going to walk through this with you guys, and we're going to talk about it together. I was like, there's got to be a way to like hold the die down, set your paper down, and then you don't want anything to shift as you're kind of pushing it through the die machine. So we're going to play here. Now, for the Plumeria, I am going to use Distress Oxide Picked Raspberry. Okay, so oxides will work. So if you have oxides in your crafty stash, then those are going to work. And then for the leaves, I'm going to use good old, my favorite green, Rustic Wilderness. And I am going to, if I can get the lid off here, I am going to use one of these little finger daubers, because you want something that's going to hold quite a bit of ink in the tip. Now, when Leanne did it, she took the ink pad and dabbed it directly like this. Well, you all know that, Kelly, I'm a hot mess, and I would have ink like all over everywhere. So I'm going to take it like so, and I'm going to dab it on this way. Now, I have to tell you, let's come down. I'm going to come down like this, because it's going to be hard for you guys to see unless I come down like right on top of it. So I'm just going to use the little finger dauber. I can kind of turn it up on its edge. I don't want to get the cut lines around the edge. Mainly, I want to get all of these great little details right there in the center. And so I'm just going to keep working my way around these little Plumeria and just dabbing my little finger dauber in here like so. And let's do this big one. And you can see the ink on there. And I know it doesn't look like a lot just yet, but just wait. It's one of those like, wait for the magic. And this one's a tough one. I'm going to take the very side. I'm tipping it over on its side. And this one I may have a little bit of run over onto that cut line, but it's not going to be too bad. I want to make sure all those middles are really good and juicy. And then if you wanted to, now let's say you wanted to go in with like a darker pink, or even a brighter red or something right in the center. Now would be the time probably that you would want to do that. Now I am going to run these through one at a time. So I'm going to place my white cardstock right over the top like so. And then now, let's see here. Let's go this way. Now I'm going to run the whole thing through my die machine, and I'm being pretty careful not to like rub that paper around. So I'm handling it pretty careful. And then I'm just going to turn around here, and then we're going to let the die machine do its job. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right. Now this is the magic. All right. So let me put it here. Look how cute. Okay. And you watched it in real time. Let's see. Oh, there they are. Look how adorable that is, just by adding it on to the, where the die presses. Okay. So we've got our Plumeria here. This card is so easy, you guys. It's like, just wait. There's more. Okay. So I'm going to set these, our little Plumeria, I'm going to set them to the side. I don't want to lose them. And then let me go back down here to my desk. Now that these are finished, and let me show you. These will just wipe, because it's that nice, that oxide ink. It will just wipe right off and clean. And see the pink here? So easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. Now let's do these very detailed leaves, right? So this time I'm going to take the Rustic Wilderness, and I've got a new little sponge dauber. So we're going to get this really good and juicy here. Okay. And then I'm just going to start working my way. Now, this one, I'm not worried about the cut lines on the edges as much as I was the Plumeria, and I'll show you why here in just a second. So I'm going to kind of go down, and again, this is going to be one of those where you're like, well, I don't really see any ink on there, right? It's on there. It's going to be there. Okay. Start down here and kind of work my way up. And I want to make sure that the base of the leaf, or where it connects to the stem, is really good and juicy. And so I'm really inking it up there. And let's go that way. Okay, so I've got it inky, and I know that it's hard to see on there because it's kind of sitting on the metal of the die. All right, this time I am going to take, let me grab it here, this kind of limey green paper. I'm going to lay it right over the top again. And then we're going to do the magic. We're going to put it through the die machine, okay? So we're going to roll it through, and then we'll wait for it to do all of its job. I use my mini sponge daubers. Yes, I like a faux butter press. Yes, it's like a faux butter press or letter press or whatever that is called. I don't have that system. Okay, now look. Do you see where it's darker in the veins where we added? Ta-da! It's like magic. When we saw Leanne's card, like Lisa and I like dissected it. We were like, okay. And we were like, did you just add ink to the dyes? What did you do? And she was like, yep, that's all I did. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is brilliant. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's dump out our little leaves here. Don't have any to poke. Look, and you guys saw, I was not like super duper careful or anything on these. My camera is so wonky. I apologize for that. Okay, now that we've got all of our little die cutting done, guys, that is it for the Plumeria. But you know, we're gonna zhuzh them up a little bit. All right, so let's take these. Let's set these aside, and now we've got our little blossoms. Okay, and let me make sure I've got all the pieces. Yep. All right, so all she did with the edges was take a yellow. So I'm going to use fossilized amber, and I've got my kind of a small little brush here. And we can just barely like kind of flick it up right on the edge. Tap, tap, tap. In we go. Tap, tap, tap. Around we go to the little petals. Tap, tap. Okay, there's one. And then let's do this one. And I'm just going to keep spinning it around. And keep adding as we go here. And this is kind of fun because Plumeria are all different colors. Okay, you're going to think I'm crazy on this one, but I'm actually going to do these that are going to be covered up, but you'll see why here in just a second. So I'm going to give these a little bit of the yellow and then keep blending right over the top. And then let's do the tiny little petals, the little layering piece. Okay, so now we've got that. Let me do a little wipe down here. All right, now the only one of these little Plumeria for this card that needs to be layered is this one. So I'm going to take a little bit of our liquid adhesive and I'm going to add it just right there, just a dot right there in the center. And then I've got my small little piece that we can layer over the top. And I'm going to kind of hold my finger there and let that adhesive kind of do its job. But then I can kind of do my little flick with the petals and have a little bit of dimension on it, but you're going to be able to see the yellow underneath. And so it doesn't look stark white or just the white paper. Okay, so now we've got that. We've got our leaves all ready to go. Aren't those going to be so pretty and tropical? All right, so let's go back out this way. I need to do some adjusting here. Okay, now let me get my bearings here, what we're doing. All right, let's now take the Misty. So let me move these aside. All right, in my Misty, I have Dawn's beautiful little cottage, and that is from the Beach Please stamp set. So these images right here, Dawn, over in the comments, I know she's still here. She drew these, you guys. Aren't they amazing? And so I'm going to use the little cottage, just like Leanne did on her card, but super easy because with this, she didn't even color anything. So in here that I'm going to stamp on is our little time to go postcard. Do you see all of that detail pressed into that postcard? So I'm going to stamp it right over here. And the way that Leanne did it, I'm going to move all my little goodies here, is she just used a green ink. So I'm going to take the same green that we used in the veins of our leaves, and I'm going to ink this up. You can tell that my little cottage has been well loved on already because I did that video and I stamped it in my good old VersaFine ink and did that faux watercolor with the Tombow markers on it. I so enjoyed that. Okay, so I've got it all inked up. Make sure we've got all the little bits and pieces. Now, because Dawn's stamp is a little bit larger and is detailed, I am going to use a little bit of pressure on it. So I'm just going to give this some love. And also, I've got those embossed details in that postcard that I want, you know, the ink to kind of get down in there a little bit. Okay. All right. Now let's open this up and let's see if we need to hit any more. Okay. Do you see right there where I need to hit the ink again? Okay. So let's do this again. I'm going to go right across and I'm going to focus the ink right there in that little spot that I missed. So then let's press right there in the center. Oh, we're already looking better. Let's see here. Do we need any more? I think that's actually pretty good, just like that. It doesn't have to be absolutely. Everything is looking pretty good there. Okay, so before I make a mess with my inky stamp, I'm going to give that a little bit of a wipe down. And then let's gently pull this back off of that sticky mat. Okay, and now we've got our little cottage. So I'm going to put it over in my goodies. Now, while I have my Misty out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. And the sentiment is from Dawn's set as well, but I'm going to use this wishing you a sunny day because I think I could use that for a birthday card. I think that would be a pretty birthday card. And then I like to, you know, have a sentiment like this. And then maybe on the inside, I stamp, you know, happy birthday or, you know, something like that. So in this, I am actually going to stamp this in, I think I'm going to do gathered twigs, and I'll show you why here in just a second, because it's going to, everything's going to tie in, but I've got a scrap piece of paper up there. Let's ink it and make sure that that pretty sentiment is all inked up. That looks really good. So I'm going to pull this one out. And now I can put my Misty away. And then before I get just too far, I'm going to use my heat tool here and just heat these just a little bit. I'm going to hold these to the side of my desk. Okay, now we've got our base and everything going. Now, Leanne used like a chocolate brown or a craft cardstock. So we're going to layer our postcard right over the top. And then we're going to have this craft cardstock back in there. I do need to cut my sentiment. But I cut the time to go, the cute little time to go. Do you see where it looks like it's like a sandy or it's got a little bit of a texture to it? That was done with this paper from, let me get it out here, from our Grab Your Passport paper pad. So this is the one that has all the fun like travel stuff in it, but it also has a bunch of these like nice, just great backgrounds. Well, it's also is fun to die cut too. So, you know, so let me get that back in there. All right. Let's see what's on the back side of this one. Oh, this is that copper like ceiling tile look. All right. So here is this. And then let's start kind of building everything together. So I'm just going to add some liquid adhesive here. Get the edges pretty good. All right, and then I'm just going to drop it. And then I'm going to pick it up if I can and kind of shimmy it around just a little bit to make sure that everything is going to stick down. Let's see here. Thank you, Missy. Missy, I am totally copying off of Leanne. But when Lisa and I saw this and we saw what she did with the dies, I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to do this in a live stream because I knew you all would enjoy it. Because, you know, we love all of our detailed dies and things. But when you can find something to get a new use out of your dies, and it, for me, it took a, I wouldn't say it took away a step. It changes a step, right? It's something, a new technique, because normally I would have used my Copics or my colored pencils and spent time to trace in all of those embossed lines. And so when I saw that in there and it didn't look like it was drawn on or penciled on or anything like that, I was like, okay, we have to figure out like how she did this. And Lisa and I, we had a good idea, but we weren't quite sure. And thank goodness, what did I do with my plate? Hold, please, while we look for the cutting plate. I don't know what I've done with it. There is, oh, here it is. Over here where it's not supposed to be, of course. Lisa and I talked about, we were like, oh, we've got to try this. This is fun. And then, of course, Leanne is so nice. She said, oh, this is how you do it. She even sent me like a little video of her, like what she used and how she inked the dies up and all that good stuff. So she's super sweet. All right. So, oh, well, I didn't wipe the green off of my mat. So let's see if I boogered that one up. No, I think it's going to be okay. Hazard of the job. See the green that I left on there? Okay. So let's take that off here. All right. Got that. We've got all of our little pieces here. I'm going to put those here. Now, the stamp. So let's talk about the stamp. Okay, so the stamp pieces are from the same die set as the Time to Go postcard. So I've cut this out of the coordinating cards, the same cardstock as the leaves. So again, everything's going to kind of tie together. And then we're going to make the little stamp. So I'm going to use my tweezers so I can keep my big fingers out of the way. And I'm just going to kind of dot, dot, dot. I can get my glue to cooperate here. Oh, and of course, when I only want a little tidbit, a bunch comes out. That's about par for the course for me. Okay, so got that. And then let's do a little line up here. And then I'm going to pick up the whole thing and kind of shimmy it around. Let's clean up the little mess right there. Okay, so now that is going to kind of sit in there. Now, I've got the little flip-flops because Leanne used the cute little flip-flops on her card. Now, I am going to, let's see here how I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to stick them right on here. So I'm going to put them here. I'm going to put the little straps right here. And then I'm going to use the Pick Raspberry because, again, we're going to tie everything in together. So these are going to get all over the hot pink. And so I'm going to use, I didn't even need to dip in because there was so much ink in this little dauber. Come on. Let me hold you down so you'll cooperate. There we go. All right, we got that. Now, the little flip-flops. These, I think I'm going to move these over here just so they're easier for me to handle. Now, Leanne brushed these. I'm going to rub a little bit of this ink off on some scratch paper that I have over here. And then I'm just going to, since this is already inked up, ready to go, I'm barely going to just drag it just a little bit. Not the whole sandal. Just a little bit around the edges. And just a little bit. Oops. And then let's flip it around. Just a little bit. Okay, now let's connect our little strappies on there. All right, so I'm definitely going to want to use my tweezers here. There we go. And then fuzzies on the tweezers. And then I can add the teeniest, tiniest little dots. And then this one goes on this foot. There we go. Get everybody where they go. There we go. And then I'm going to move that out of the way and let the glue do its thing. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this foot. And then I can set this down. Get all the little fuzzies. There we go. Now we got the cutest little pair of flip-flops. All right, now let's adhere them. Okay. So now we're just going to make a little flip-flop stamp. Now, the flip-flops are obviously super cute with this little stamp, but also any of the parts of the globe die set, the Lovely Layers globe, fit in here as well. So like the little hot air balloon or the Eiffel Tower or anything like that. I don't want them to like sit absolutely perfectly, but about like so. And then this is going to look something like that when we have it all done. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and glue this down. Let's start building. I think we've got all of our parts and pieces all done and ready to go. Okay. Let's see here. I do too, Missy. Where do you live, Missy? Usually, I know Lisa lives in flip-flops. I bet Dawn does too. Dawn lives in Florida. Dawn probably lives in flip-flops. Okay, the time to go. I feel like people that live in the South a lot. Time to go. Right across there. Let's see here. Can't stand Gretchen. Oh my word, Gretchen. Okay, now this is going to go right up in like this area. I'm just going to tap that down. let the glue connect. Let's see here. Kelley, come on. I live in Washington and live in flip-flops, even in the garden. Perfect. I did too. When I lived in Spokane, Miss Lori, I lived in flip-flops too. Now, obviously, okay, I take that back. The winters, I literally had to learn to wear shoes there because, I mean, you'll freeze your little piggies off in the winter in 6 feet of snow. But, you know, you better believe when it hit, 50 degrees or whatever, I put the flip-flops back on. Okay. Now we're going to arrange all of our pretty plumerias now. Now, before we do that, I am going to look at Leanne's card. So let's take a look here. Oh, doggies. Do y'all see what I missed? This is what happens when Kelley talks too much. And I even have it sitting here. Okay, so you can not ink up the sides. Dang it. Darn it. Chatty Cathy tonight. Totally forgot it. The sides. See, Betsy, what happens when I get to talking? Goodness gracious. Okay, we're still going to make it cute. All right, so we're still going to make it cute. All right, so let's do a little arrangement. Man, I am so bummed because I was so excited about like the turquoise mixed in there. Okay. And then we've got a few leaves. And then we've got a few leaves that we're going to arrange. And I did do extra. These were my testers today. Something like so. And I think it's cute, but dang, I wanted to do that turquoise on there. All right, let's see here. Too cute. I think ink splatter before putting on the flowers. I could do that. You'll have to pause for me for a second. I'm looking at. All right. Yeah, I'm so bummed. Okay, so let's do the flowers. I'm going to do this one first, and I think I'm going to use a foam dot. Like that. And then I love to use my tweezers. And then this one's going to come up about like so. And then the big one. And you can even take these. I know y'all probably have seen me mess with the petals and stuff before. I like to take them and give a little bit of a bend to them. And let's do grab some more dots. I am still so thrown off by the dang turquoise. Darn it. Well, the next one that I make like this, because you guys are seeing how easy this is now. The next one I make, I'm going to have to put turquoise on there. Okay, I'm going to take this and just give them a little bit of a curl. Let's see here. Dawn, do you have Plumeria in your garden? Dawn may actually have like Plumeria. Funny story. Or maybe not. My family and I went to Hawaii when I was like right after I graduated high school. It was my grandmother's like wish to always go there. And my granddad, y'all are getting like the whole life story today. My granddad never wanted to go because he was a pilot in the Marines. And he traveled over there and had, served many times. And he was like, why would I want to go over there when I've been there? But my grandmother always wanted to go. So she took us all, right? And we found a piece of Plumeria, and I'm actually going to we found a piece of Plumeria like laying on the ground, like a stem of it. Did you guys know that you could like stick the stick in some dirt and plant it and it will grow? So I had that for years and years, but we've moved so many times that I ended up leaving it with a friend in Texas, actually, in San Antonio. I'm going to do some surgery right here too, I think. I'm just going to nestle him right down there like that. Okay, that's looking pretty cute. Let's see here. I want to go to Japan. My fear of flying will stop that from happening. Yes, I have Plumeria in my yard. Oh, how fun is that? Okay, now let's do these two. So this bigger guy, I'm going to bend again. So we're all friends. We all match. And then let's do a dot. I like using these dots a lot of times so I can kind of poke the leaves and I kind of arrange them up around there. Let's see here. Wait, let's use a dot. Why not? Let's see here. Yeah, it's pretty even without the teal, but I think the turquoise just like made it pop or something. I don't know. Maybe that's just my brain telling me that I need all the things on there. You guys know me and all the pretties and all the stuff. But we'll look at Leanne's here in a minute too, again. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? This leaf, he needs a haircut. And then let's add maybe this little guy. Let's see if he's going to need a haircut in here. Just a little one. Kind of hide the little cut there. Pop my little petals up. Now let's finish it. I don't want to forget. I'll forget the, just like I forgot the turquoise, I almost forgot the sentiment. Do you guys ever forget the sentiments? Like it when you do so many little parts and pieces and things, do you ever forget that? Or are you a card maker that like the sentiment is always like you build everything around the sentiment? You need to tell me in the chat what y'all do. I forever forget the sentiment because I'm so invested in like all the little pieces and things that I forget. And I'm going to nestle this guy right here. There we go. And before I really press, we're going to make sure that he's pretty straight. Okay, now I'm going to read what you said. Build around the sentiment. See, Connie, sentiment goes on the very last thing. Me too, Belinda. Betsy, sometimes I decide to leave it off and put, I know, because there's just so many little goodies. Okay, I am going to use the travel. Do I want to use these? Yeah, why not? These are the travel pearls. And I think that's not too coral looking. Do you think that this is too orange? Or do I do the limey green in the center? Even the kind of darker yellow is pretty. I think the pink would be cute. So I have to squish mine in somewhere. Amy, you're my kind of girl. Always. Let's see here. I'd use the yellow. Okay, let's use the yellow. Let's use the dark. Though it kind of gives it that pop, I think. It's kind of a good cross, a good mix of the yellow and like an orange almost. But I mean, we already went rogue from Leanne's card, so this is what happens. Oh man. When I start chit-chatting with you all. Okay. And let's do the medium one right in here. And then a baby one right up here to finish that one off. Okay. Now, there we go. Not too shabby without the turquoise. Let's see here. Let's take a look. Now let's do a reminder of Leanne's pretty card. All right, so here's Leanne's. Beautiful. She did the splatters too. I do see splatters on there. And she did the green little cottage, the little flippy flops, so cute. And her flowers. And then mine is just a little bit more plain Jane. But you know what I think this means? Is I think that we could totally change the colors up depending on the recipient. Like if you're going to send this to, maybe make it a dude card. Maybe you don't add like all the turquoise and stuff like that. I am pretty bummed though that I missed it. I even had it on my desk, had me a pretty new brush ready to go and like the whole 9 yards. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about in here. Very pretty. It is fun. Yours is beautiful. Thank you, Miss Lori. I think a hello word die in the same font would be a nice addition. Totally would. Okay, now let me ask you this question. I want you to put the answer. Does this technique with our dies, our detailed dies and the ink and stuff, do you think that that's something that you guys would try to do now? Or have you tried it before? Maybe I'm just behind the times and I don't even know. Dorothy said the blue brightens it a lot. It sure does. It sure does. Yes. Okay. I hope that this showed you that it was super easy because this card went together from start to finish in 40 minutes. And I've been talking your ears off the whole time. Yes, I will try it. Perfect. It's fun. So think about like all of our lovely layers dies that have, and even our birds that have like in the feather detail and stuff. Like my mind is going crazy with all of our little detailed dies that we can test it on and try. Definitely. No crafting until a new house is built. Oh my goodness, Belinda. I hope you have a little bag of goodies that you could color or do something. I will definitely try the ink. Yes, ink on the dies. It's so fun. Yes. Feathers. I know, Robin. That's what I'm thinking too. All of our dies are so detailed now that my mind was going crazy with all the little things. I'm going to try it with the little words on the herb garden. Yes. See, I get questions all the time. The nest, the hummingbird. Absolutely. So fun. Dogwood, they have the little lines and the little veins in it. Yes. I agree with all of you guys. Especially the hummingbird, you can do some bright fun colors on his feathers or her feathers. Okay? All right, you guys. Thanks for joining me. That was so fun. I'm bummed that I missed the little zhuzhin of the turquoise, but this just means that I have to make another one. I have to try another one. All right. Belinda Waters, you are our winner tonight. Miss Belinda, if you will email me at this email address, customercare@honeybeestamps.com, I am going to send you a gift card. So thank you for joining me. Thank you all for joining me tonight. I hope you had fun. I had fun. It was so fun. And I hope you'll join us next week for some more crafty summertime goodness. Until then, I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.